Well, James Franklin moving on to Penn State, and the Commodores losing a ton of players to the NFL a season ago. Vanderbilt was an easy pick to finish last inside the SEC entering this season. Let's find out what else we know about Vanderbilt with this week's Know Your Enemy.
Know Your Enemy, sponsored by Relish, Big Tasty Burger.
There aren't too many strengths with this Vanderbilt team, but let's give some love to a former Gainesville High standout. Ralph Webb has become the starting running back for the Doors this season and has made the most of it, rushing for 755 yards and 3 touchdowns to lead the team. In a team devoid of playmakers, he's looking like their best option. Vanderbilt's weakness is their youth. The Doors lost a lot from a season ago, and the majority of their guys are first-year starters this year. Add in the fact that they usually don't get the same athlete as most other SEC schools, and it's hard to expect them to compete in most conference games. And how to beat Vanderbilt? Play disciplined football and don't turn the ball over. Vandy scored 42 points a week ago against Old Dominion and will probably be coming into the game with some confidence. Don't give them that with dumb turnovers, and the Gators will need to finish inside the red zone when they get those opportunities.
All right, so those were my thoughts on this year's Vanderbilt team. Chris, what are your thoughts?
The Florida Keys, sponsored by Foundation Technology.
Key number 1 to me doesn't have anything to do with on-the-field play. It's showing mental maturity and focus as you go into this football game for a couple different reasons. You talk about letting one loss turn into 2 losses. Well, the same can kind of almost be true for a big win. You can't celebrate and get stuck on what you did last week, and especially in the SEC. It's about turning the page and moving forward. So their approach this week has got to be, this is the one and only game. There's no such thing as a trap game for these Gators. They've got to go out there on Saturday night and play with a sense of urgency. This is unlike an atmosphere that you'll experience anywhere else in the conference. Playing at Vanderbilt in Nashville does not have that same electricity. A very dead environment. You probably see the stadium half full. So bringing your own energy is important. You don't want to be lethargic, especially giving a team that you're much better than an opportunity to stay in the ball game into the second half. The second key for Florida is protecting the football offensively. The only way in my mind that Vanderbilt wins is if there's another performance like the Gators had against Missouri, where you're turning the ball all over, you're not playing well on special teams. The mistakes by Florida were limited last week against Georgia. I think they only turned the football over 1 time, and you can tell the difference when the offense is protecting the football, not putting their defense in bad positions. This offense for Vanderbilt cannot go the length of the field. No reason to give them a short field, sudden change situation, or even a defensive score. The third key for Florida defensively, they've got to pressure McCrary. He's a young quarterback, and we saw Florida do this very well against Tennessee with Justin Worley. Their quarterback got after him early and often, forced some errant throws, some turnovers, batted balls. I think this is the same kind of approach that Florida's defense will take when they take on this Vanderbilt offense, and McCrary specifically. Try to force him to throw the ball before he's ready. Hit him all day long, make him feel uncomfortable, not allow him to get into a rhythm. There's no reason for the Vanderbilt fans to be excited about this game. They've struggled all season long. A lot of players get up by having that opposition, that fan base getting on you. You're not going to hear any of the cursing or yelling at you. You're more likely to hear some algorithms or something like that discussed in the stands here at Vanderbilt with the smart students that they have. But I think it's important that Florida brings that sense of urgency and starts fast coming out of the locker room.
Certainly a different environment than the one they experience up in Knoxville, that's for sure. Same state, different situation. Hey, we got more Gainesville Game Day, though, coming up after this.